Welcome to UND Sports Extra. I'm your host, Dan Hammer. Coming up on tonight's show, North Dakota wins its football home opener. Its first win of the year, its first win for new head coach Bubba Schweigert, the new staff, and the new team. The head coach joins us momentarily to recap his team's 16-13 win over Robert Morris. The UND volleyball team is streaking 5 straight wins. It went undefeated last weekend in its own Volleyball Classic. Head coach Mark Pryor joins us a bit later. Nearly 10,000 fans were at the Alara Center last night for the home opener, last Saturday night, rather, for the home opener, and Bubba Schweigert's team defeated Robert Morris 16-13. Bubba, congratulations on the win. Always good to get into that W column. I know you're trying to put the building blocks together of a program long-term here, but winning is important.
Yeah, it is. We were able to do enough good things to come out on top, and I felt special teams really was the difference in the game, and we've spent a lot of time on that and emphasized it throughout fall camp, and it was good to get the results on the special teams. And then defensively really played well right down the stretch and did enough on offense. The one thing that was huge on offense was answering their touchdown in the second half.
Mm-hmm. Your defense showed some resolve in the second half, being called on numerous times to keep the game in a winnable situation.
Yeah, and I think that's what we want to develop here, a great defense that can be called upon in tough situations and maybe bend a little bit, but get some stops in the fourth quarter. And one of our things that we're going to focus on is no touchdowns in the fourth quarter, and we were able to do that even though our back was against the wall a couple times. And that's what we got to develop and keep plugging away and keep getting better at those situations.
As Coach said, special teams a key to the game. We'll take a look at first half highlights coming up next year on UND Sports Extra.
UND Sports Extra on Midco Sports Network is presented by the University of North Dakota.
UND and Robert Morris last Saturday evening at the Alara Center. Bubba, let's take a look at first half highlights. What was kind of the game plan offensively going into this game against Robert Morris's 3-4 defense?
Well, we always want to run the football, and we think it's important to establish the run, and maybe had trouble doing that, but here we hit a play action pass to Dwayne to get a good gain on second down to set up a third and short, and we're able to move the ball a little bit on the ground, but not consistently enough throughout the game.
Mm-hmm. First possession, you move the ball near midfield, third down, and Joe Molberg's going to use his legs again here. Initially, good job by your offensive line here to give Joe some time.
Yeah, we've been protecting Joe pretty well, and this is a tough play to defend. The quarterback scrambling. Joe has some mobility and was able to convert the first down.
Little miss snap, bad exchange there that led to this quarterback sack, rather.
Yeah, we're dealing with that issue. Got to get that ironed out. That hurt us in a number of drives the other night, just the snap count and things like that. Seems like a real simple thing, but important in the game.
Robert Morris threw it 51 times in week 2. You kind of figured they'd try to be more balanced in this game, right?
Right. And they're going to come out running the football, and did some different things that we had to adjust to in the game.
Special teams. I mean, all areas of the special teams were positive, weren't they not?
Yeah, you see here was a great job by our punt return team. Alex had about 15 yards before anybody made contact with him to get a good return.
So you're working again here offensively, but here's a turnover here, and I don't know if Dustin Iverson was expecting this football here, Coach?
Well, we actually misaligned on the play, and that's what happened. Joe didn't expect him to be there, and we're trying to get the ball to Cedric, and just it was all about us. That mistake had nothing to do with our opponent.
You have a blitz called here, and Robert Morris has a screen called, so it works out big for them on a big play to Ramses Owens, the freshman quarterback. That sets up Robert Morris's touchdown as Brumbaugh hits Dwayne Mitchell 6-0, and he'll be the first block kick, of which would be several in your game. Your special teams units were a winning edge for you on Saturday night.
Great response by our guys. We always challenge them. After a score, hey, there's one more point on the board there, and we kept it off the board and got ourselves some momentum, and I really liked that our guys were excited about that because we practiced that situation, and they responded very well.
Jordan Hinojosa got that block, and then you forced a turnover. This is one of your goals for going into the game, too, is get a couple 3 turnovers.
No question. At the end of every play is a chance for a turnover. They execute a nice play. We were able to pop the ball out. Great job by Taj Rich. Just a hustle play, pops it out. Chris picks it up. We'd like him to keep it on the near sideline to get some more yards returning, but great job by the D.
You go 3 and out offensively, but you get the ball right back here. You recover a missed punt return opportunity.
Yeah, I think our guys hustled down the field, maybe distracted the return man a bit, but we'll take advantage of it.
Then Joe Mulberg, patient, finds R.J. McGill here, and you're operating in the red zone.
Yeah, I thought R.J. had a solid night. Caught the ball, and then we're able to get it down there in scoring range. Would like to get a touchdown once you're inside the 5, but Reed hits the field goal, and we get points on the board.
So it's 6-3 at this point. Your defense forces a 3 and out, and then Adam Schweigert goes to work 19 yards, and that would lead to another Taubenheim field goal. Taubenheim's got some confidence going here early in the season for a freshman.
Been real solid, when we felt he could be pretty good coming in at fall camp. He worked hard to become more consistent, and right now he's off to a good start this season.
How about your 2-minute offense here at the end of the half?
Well, we weren't, real happy with what we did here down the stretch. We didn't finish off again like the way we'd like, but changed the field position and got us in position. So we're going to take that, but we just got to finish better. Here's a play where we do get out of bounds, and then later on we need to get out of bounds again and just don't execute that.
So that sets up Taubenheim, who knocks his 3rd field goal of the half through this one from 35 yards out. You do get points late in the half, and you go to the half leading 9-6. We're back with second half highlights and also hear from your players coming up next.
UND Sports Extra on Midco Sports Network is presented by the University of North Dakota.
North Dakota led 9-6 at the half on Saturday evening. Bubba, let's take a look at second half highlights here. We talked about in the first half that you figured Robert Morris would try to be more balanced compared to throwing the football 51 times in the opening week. And this running back, the true freshman, Ramses Owens, was running downhill big time, particularly in this opening drive to begin the second half.
Yeah, big physical runner, and we weren't happy about the way we started the second half defensively. We just didn't seem to have the emotion and energy that we had at the start of the game, and too many yards rushing on the ground is what we allowed, and gave up a score here for the first drive of the second half, and didn't have the momentum at that time in the game.
Yeah, as Owens will carry 39 times in this evening for 199 yards. But you answer back. This is a big answer for you here on the ensuing kickoff. R.J. McGill gets you going here.
Sure is. Our kickoff return team has been pretty solid both weeks, and gives us really good field position here. Guys working hard, getting their blocks, and R.J. gets it out there and gives us a short field.
Good blocking here, springing Adam Schweigert for 19 yards.
Yeah, Adam, nice job on both his carries to the perimeter on Saturday night, and we took advantage of a little bit of a perimeter defense there.
And then Mulberg hooking up with R.J. McGill, who's going to carry a linebacker for the final 5 yards into the end zone for the touchdown.
Yeah, splits 2 defenders, hit the same play earlier in the first half, and this one he's able to score, and we always want to score in those situations so you don't have to snap it again.
So it's 16-13. You answer Robert Morris's score with your own score on your first possession of the second half. And then Robert Morris goes back to work offensively as he hooks up with Dwayne Mitchell here. This covers 37 yards. And then Alex Tillman looks like he's got another turnover for you here.
Yeah, big momentum play, and then it gets called back because of the penalty. And here's one thing that you have to be tough, and we got to have our guys respond. You think you're off the field, now you got to go back out, and this is a great response by Alex here on third down.
This is just 3 plays later, as you said, on third down. Tillman read that unique set with 4 stacked receivers on the far side of the field. Robert Morris attempts the field goal to tie the game, but it's wide, so you're still up here 16-13. Mission accomplished by the defense.
Yeah, big stop by the defense, forced him to kick the field goal, and he misses it, so we're still ahead in the game.
That's right. Spencer Cummings actually was credited with getting a piece of that field goal. Fourth quarter now. You're looking to extend the lead. Joel Mulberg up top to Brandon Walker. You're in business now here in the red zone.
Big play, changes the field position, and we always want to do that and hit those big plays. It's hard on the defense, gives you momentum, and put ourselves in scoring position.
Taubenheim from 33 yards out looking to extend the lead, but it's wide, so it's still 16-13, so 9 minutes left in the game, and this game is still very much hanging in the balance here.
Yeah, he's off to a good start this year and just missed it a bit. And we're going to have some of those things we got to live with and just got to move on and try to close out the game.
Ramses Owens is going to have a couple of big runs here. Do you think you tackled as well in week 2 as you did in week 1?
We did not. A little bit different type back.
Right.
Was a downhill runner, and you need to tackle better. And I guess the one thing we did tackle and do a good job was in the red zone on Saturday night.
Yeah. But your defense is going to come up with another play, your special teams unit. And here's Spencer Cummings again breaking through and blocking this field goal attempt, so it's still 16-13.
Just a really good effort by our guys up front. And all this is an effort play, and able to preserve the lead and give us a chance to hold on.
You go 3 and out offensively, but again, your defense makes a stop. Garrett Reinecke made the most of his playing time in this game.
Yeah, that's what we're trying to preach to our guys. Wait for your opportunity and be ready when you get it. He had a lot of snaps the other night, was able to get some tackles for loss and a sack, and we're happy with his performance.
Then with a couple minutes to play, one more play by your defense here, a bad snap. The crowd noise maybe had something to do with it. You recover, and that pretty much puts the capper on the win.
Yeah, great atmosphere at home, and I think it did play a part. Nodak Nation getting into the game with the rest of the fans, and that's what you get at home. You stress the offense by put him in a long yardage situation, and then always plays a factor.
All right, Bubba, how about third down conversions? How do you get better in that area? 3 of 15 on Saturday night.
Just need to put ourselves in better situations. There were too many third and longs where you got to be smart and take care of the ball, and you want to convert them all, but you also, sometimes a punt isn't a bad play.
Yeah, we talked with several of your players, including Spencer Cummings, who blocked 2 kicks on Saturday night, about the block party and the difference in the game, special teams.
Well, it's always been kind of tradition around here. So ever since I've been here, we've been blocking kicks, and it's pretty much all about effort. A lot of people take special teams for granted, and they don't really put the effort in, but we were sitting there giving our all, and that's what happened. We got a few blocks.
Did you see anything on film during the week that made you think, we might be able to get 1 or 2?
We did. We saw a little bit in the guard. We thought we could take a little bit of advantage of it, but overall, it was all effort.
I know one of your goals tonight was to get some turnovers. You got some.
Oh yeah, I was so happy. Tosh Rich came in on that. He stripped the ball from him. I was so proud of him and the team. We all rallied right away. Everybody knew exactly what to do. Scoop and score, try to go for the score right away. So that was a big part of it. I'm happy we managed to get some.
What steps did you try to take forward?
Keep trying to find the rhythm. It seems like we're still trying to find it. We'll have a good play, but then a penalty. Have another good play, then a penalty. So that's really what we have to try to focus in on and stop with the penalties, because then we'll be able to help ourselves a lot.
Your play in the second half. You talk about seizing the opportunity and making plays.
Yeah, right. I haven't, through the years, haven't seen a lot of time on the field. I just got some plays, and, the coaches made the right calls, and I happened to be in the right place at the right time.
It just came down to us being more physical in the second half, wanting it more. And I think we really stepped up, towards the end of third, and especially fourth quarter. And the crowd helped us out a little bit, too, during this last one.
Bottom line, it's a win. And how good is that for this overhauled football team?
It's a great feeling. It really is. It was great for the crowd. We had a nice showing tonight, and it was great as a team. You could feel everybody was relieved that we got the win. I don't think we'll be looming too much on how we got the win. It's just the fact that you get the win, have a 1-on-1 record. Now we build on that going into next week.
Alrighty, Bubba. I think R.J. McGill summed it up pretty well there.
Yeah, you take the win and you move on. We're back at work on Sunday and have a lot of things we need to address to get our football team better.
All right, coming up next, 2 UND players, 2 seniors on the team who found themselves switching positions going into this 2014 season.
UND Sports Extra on Midco Sports Network is presented by the University of North Dakota.
Some of the roster decisions made going into the 2014 season involved 2 veterans. Here's Greg Ankers with more.
It's not entirely uncommon for football players to change positions as they transition from high school to college, but most of these moves occur during their early years. Not the case for UND senior Ben Henson, who is taking his talents from the defensive line over to the offense.
So I was just at class one day and I got a text from Coach Schweigert, and he said, come up to my office when you get a chance. And I went up there, and I had been in defensive meetings for probably 3 weeks at that point. And so he just talked to me about it and said, thinks that's the best decision for the team. And I'll do whatever it takes to make the team successful.
It's not completely foreign for Henson, but it's been the better part of 4 years since he last played for the side of the ball trying to score touchdowns rather than prevent them.
In high school, I played left tackle my whole career, and I never really played defense till I got here. So I go from no defense to all defense back to offense here for the last go-round. I didn't ever think I'd get switched my senior year, but I guess my O-line coach always said back in high school, he goes, he'll be a guard before he's done, and I guess that's kind of what happened.
Henson is not the only UND starter making a move this season. Fellow senior Tyree Ivory has been like a Swiss Army knife in his career. He's played at receiver, defensive back, and on special teams, sometimes all in the same season. But after playing exclusively on defense in 2013, Ivory is now back where he feels he belongs this year.
I feel like I'm more of a playmaker. Defense is more of it's a solid, like you're isolated out there at corner and you got a whole lot of pressure on you, but receiver, I mean, it's a team thing. Everybody got to be clicking on the right page. And that plus being the whole playmaker aspect, I love it.
Two players doing their part to make sure the team is going where it should, and leaving little doubt they're committed to what's best for the entire squad.
The coach wanted me to play corner, safety. I'll do my best to transition to that, but I feel I'm more home at receiver, so I'm more comfortable there, and I think it's the best for the team playing receiver, so I'm enjoying it.
All right, Bubba, back on the road this week, a date with Missouri State. This is a product that you know very well from all of your days in the Missouri Valley Conference.
Yeah, I've competed against them for the last 6 years, and they're a very talented football team. They spread you out on offense with a very talented quarterback, and defensively, they're a much improved team over the years. You know, the last few years, they've done a very good job of keeping points off the board, and they'll be a tremendous challenge for us.
What's your depth chart at running back look like for this game?
Well, right now, Jer and Adam and Patrick Sharp will get in the mix now, and we're still going to have to share those carries and see if we find the right combination.
Yeah, so Cedric Simmons on the shelf for a while.
Yes, he is, and we'll have to deal with that, and that's part of the game.
Yeah, a couple, 3 things that are must-dos for you as you look ahead for your football team?
More consistent on offense. We got to continue to improve on special teams and eliminate big plays on defense.
All right, Bubba, thanks for your time. Good luck at Missouri State. We'll recap the game next week here on UND Sports Extra. Coming up next, the North Dakota volleyball team with a 5-match winning streak heads to Fargo tonight. We're joined by head coach Mark Pryor next.
UND Sports Extra on Midco Sports Network is presented by the University of North Dakota.
The UND volleyball team is streaking 5 straight after sweeping the UND Volleyball Classic this past weekend, including an epic match against South Dakota that you saw live here on Midco Sports Network. Head coach Mark Pryor joins us. Congrats. Heck of a weekend for your team, Coach.
It was good. We definitely have used a lot of ice bags afterward, but it was great that the kids had a chance to play at home, number one, and play against a regional rival. And it was a great match, and we saw some progress.
Yeah, let's go back to the match of the weekend. That was Friday night's match against South Dakota, an epic 5-set match. There was just a lot of athleticism on the court here.
There was, if anybody fell asleep during that match, they need to see a doctor. We definitely, it was great seeing a lot of our young kids just be able to just play in the environment. We had almost 1,500 people there, which is just a great idea of where we want to be as a program, just from an attendance standpoint, and just the support we got was unreal.
Yeah, you would be down 2-1 in this, and in the 4th set you would win to force a 5th and deciding set here. Talk about the evening Nikki Hoosfeld had. Nikki had a rare triple-double. The first in UND history and Division I history.
Yes, Nikki's always going to have, we hope she's going to have double-digit assists and double-digit digs consistently. With our youth in the front row, what we really tried to work on is, more than anything, she's got to be active. She's in the front row, she's setting, but she can score just as much as everybody else. So when she does that, it opens up everybody else to give us a little more. We've talked to her. We had so many timeouts. I'm like, hey, you score, you're sitting down. And she kind of looks and goes, all right, that sounds good to me. And she gets a kill, and she looks at me, and I'm like, let's get another one. Let's get another one.
Yeah, well, she hit 625 on Friday night on the way to a rare triple-double, and you closed it out there when South Dakota was long in its kill attempt. 3-2 in that. And again, great balance, and you hit really, really well in this match.
We did. We didn't start off hitting really well. We knew they had 2 great hitters that were phenomenal.
Yeah.
And the whole goal was, hey, just wear them out. 2 cannot beat 6. And really, when you look at the numbers toward the end of the match, that's what it was.
Let's take a quick look here at Tulane highlights from Friday. This is a game in which you dominated here in a 3-set win.
We did play really well. I don't know if Tulane just thought that it was unseasonably cool, but we did a good job really spreading things out and really transitioning middle. They were very left side dominated, so they weren't going to see a lot of middle transition at practice. They don't see it at practice, they're going to be able to prep against it. That really let our left sides get open consistently, because once they had to commit to the middle so much, it just made it a lot easier for us to score.
All right, so you swept Tulane on Friday, you swept Tulane on Saturday as well, and you beat South Dakota in 4 sets on Saturday to finish 4-0. NDSU tonight, rivalry match.
You know, I've heard it's a little bit of a rivalry.
It's a little bit of a rivalry.
Yes, a little bit.
In Fargo.
It is. It's going to be fun. I'm excited for us to play in a hostile environment. We hope that anybody that is a UND fan will just get out into Fargo and go into enemy territory and help us out.
All right, good luck in Fargo. Then you're off to Brookings against South Dakota State on Thursday. So
Yes.
you got the I-29 quarter coming up.
Absolutely.
Congratulations on a great start. We'll chat with you next week
Thanks.
here on UND Sports Extra, and we'll see you next week here on the show.